All right. Good evening, everybody. Session starts. It's the beginning of the year, and I'm sitting with my cup of tea with 100 written on it. So, when Oxford University Press turned 100 in India, that was a time when my learning train was born. And so I think it stands on this wonderful foundation, where um, it took 100 years to create trust patterns and go into the heart of India. And I think that's what education is all about. It's about all of us reaching the last learner in the heart of our wonderful country. So, welcome. And I do hope that this year is more fruitful because developing children to their full potential is a tremendous responsibility. Earlier, the teachers, the schools took it on, but this time it's going to be the parents, it's going to be the teacher and the child, and that triangle has to be made as strong as possible so that every bit of the potential of the child, whether it is emotional development, physical development, intellectual development, everything is actually a complete cycle. And I think the circumstances are different. This time last year, we were hoping that things would be better during the time in the coming year. But there is a distinct difference. Last year, we had nothing to fall back on. This year, we have the last year's experience to fall back on. So we just need to be prepared, we need to be ready, and we need to just support each other. And this time will pass. Tough, but it will pass. And that is how we will keep the children going. We are going to get as many resources, as many interactive sessions, as much of support as we can for each other. The Oxford University Press India, and in fact through the world, is committed to research. It's committed to creating and adapting to the need, and we've done that in the last couple of months. We've put in every energy we had, every resource we had, so that we could compile it, we could consolidate what we have, enhance what we had, and give it back to, the foundation of learning the children. And that is the whole reason why I think we decided to work with the Parent Express and, get it all ready and geared up to get as many children, parents, and teachers on board, so that we could just make this time easier for everybody. Teachers are tiring and we really want to be there to support them. Parents need to have some ideas because a lot of things, a lot of domains, a lot of development that was done and handed by the completely by the teacher now needs your support. So we'll talk about getting ourselves ready from absolutely, like they say, ground zero and take off time. So it's time to really take off, get ready, and get set. So the first thing that you need to do is understand why an activity or why activity-based learning needs to be done. So, the very wonderful team of the Oxford has given us a beautiful poster, and which very clearly says why activity-based learning. So the National Education Policy 2020 included the early years and then consolidated it by bringing class 1 and 2 into foundational classes, and said the most important line is that activity-based learning should be the base of the learning for children. Very uncomplicated, very simple, and very straightforward. So activities and domains. Now, domains means every part of the child must be touched at some point or the other. Because each child will learn differently. Even when you have two children in the house, they both don't learn the same way. All the techniques you use on one just don't work on the other. So like I always say, there is no expert in early years. You only keep adapting and changing according to the needs of the children. So first, to understand the domains. We broadly divide the learning patterns into different domains. And those domains are the base design for any activity we create for children. That's how we work. That we first look at the domains, then we create a set of activities which are age appropriate. Like a 3-year-old will do a certain set of activities, a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. Now the same topic can be repeated 3 times, but each time there will be a little twist. It will become a little more challenging, but we will just not change the topics completely. So repetition is very important, and making it achievable at the same time challenging. So the balance has to be absolutely right, and that's what we're going to help you to build. So first of all, very quickly, we look at all the domains on which the activities are built, because understanding domains is very important. We as early as teachers love to use flashcards. We love to use. So what is the first domain that we have to look at in the early childhood is the social, emotional, personal development, the personal, social, emotional development, which is going to be which is the reason why children come to school, so they can interact, they can. So during this particular time when everything is again very turbulent, I would suggest that this part be taken care of. Give children happy homes. Be calmer, because it is going to be a tough time again. But keeping homes peaceful and happy and forthcoming is going to be one of the best ways to keep them emotionally secure. Once in a while, if you can actually have interaction with other parents who are keeping things safe, it would definitely help out. So you can perhaps have a small parent group that doesn't really that doesn't go out too much, and you can use that as an interactive part for your child. So keeping the personal, social, emotional development is really important. It's also very important to have every aspect, the physical development, during this time, large muscles, small muscle, taking them out just for a run, letting them see the sky, just keeping them safe, and health and safety is all a part of the physical development that needs to be taken care of. Knowledge and skills of things that are happening around the child, the world around the child is very important. Just today, I read a very nice article that how it's so important to make children aware of their immediate surroundings, and let them just be and participate in the home activities, take part in small things, get them to become independent. And then you have the very important domain is the language development, which has got listening, speaking, and reading, writing. So if the listening, speaking works well, the reading, writing is bound to happen. But if you keep forcing them to read and write, there is no guarantee that the listening, speaking is developed. So first, concentrate on the listening, speaking. When the teachers are sending you a story, narrate the story to the children, make eye contact with the children, have a sustained eye contact so that you can actually hold the eye contact of the child, and then communicate with children. Never look at them and say bolo, because that's what they're going to do to you after a couple of years if you don't make eye contact with them. Even if it's for a split second, take your eye off the computer, take it off the phone, and look at your children and say, I'll just get back to you. But don't look at the child, look at the screen and talk to the child. It's not going to do the child or anybody. The creative development. Did you realize that how many of us went back to cooking, growing plants, just embroidering, somebody was listening to music. So this whole time was about art and creativity, so must be taken care of. Cognitive development, where there is problem solving, resilience, the child. So these are so many aspects, the mathematical, numeracy, and technology aided blended learning. Look at the number of domains we work with. So now you all have to get ready for all of this with the teachers, with all of us. We will walk with you. We will be with you every bit of the way. I will try and come and see you every month, and we'll work with you the best we can. Every time you're working with children, the very important thing that children have to see is they have to see you handling resources respectfully. So any resource you have for the children, you have to put it back in the correct place. If you wanted children to put things back in the correct place, you just have to do it. They're not going to listen to you, but they're going to copy you. And that's how it works. So suppose you wanted children to put things back in place, see that your homes are well done. And that is how, even the simplest of home, even you don't need too much of money, too many resources. You need very basic things to make children learn. And that's been my strong belief. So when I developed Kinophonics and KinoLearn as processes for activity-based learning, I never ever used expensive resources. Even when I wrote my learning train, which was for one of the biggest publishing and the oldest publishing houses of the world, even then I never went in for expensive resources, and I used simple resources which I could get around the house, around the school. And I think today in these circumstances, that's what is going to help us, get this whole perspective out. So the first thing that I'm going to ask you to do is, suppose you're a user. If you're not a user of My Learning Train, the other things will work. But suppose your children have these books, there are flashcards behind the book, and there is a perforation. So you must remove the flashcards from the perforation, tear them up into small, their perforations. So you can actually uh, bundle them up and rubber band them like this. So for as many books as you have, remove the flashcards as step one and bundle them up with a simple rubber band, and you can just put them in any box. This is an educational tool. So it is important for you to keep it carefully. If the children just throw it around, they just don't, keep it carefully. When the teachers have to conduct an experiment or a process, or they want them to do an activity, the things will not be found. So set up your activity centers, set up your card centers, set up a small tray with all the art material, set up the books, set up everything in a small little corner which could belong to the child and which the child is responsible for. Just like you make the children pack their bags every day. Like that corner should be ready every day for their 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time the school chooses, interaction. So that in those 10, 15 minutes, the teacher, when she's asking the children to get the resources, they're not struggling to find them. So just like the bag is being packed, the activity corner should be ready for the children. How to prepare them for online sessions. So just like we prepare them to come to school, that we just have to change the way we are preparing them. So like we always tell the parent, never hold the child to your heart when the child is being carried to school for the first time, because separating from the heartbeat becomes very difficult. Like that, prepare the children for a pleasantness, prepare them for activities which have to come the next day. So if the child, their corners are well done, their art corner, their cleaning corner, their writing corner, their resources, the child will not struggle. Seat the child a little away from the screen, not right into the screen, so that the child can manipulate and move around. That's another very important thing to do, right? So during this time, we will just prepare them better. Another thing I would suggest, I will try and share a beautiful picture of a child who's set up an activity center. So we've taken permission from the Amrita Vidyalayam, where we are actually experimenting, this, and I'm going to very quickly, with their permission, flash this little baby at thing, just a very, very quick flash. So this parent has made an activity corner for the child, and the child is able to do activities using the resources that we've given in the book. So I think that every time it's possible, it is so possible. So suppose you want to make something like a reading wall. It is so easy to do. What you need to do is, you need to go to a stationery, buy normal A4 size paper. You'll get an A4 size sheet packed for about 30-40 rupees. You just fold it into half and then 3 parts. Okay. So the minute you fold it into 3 parts, you get a 10 by 10 centimeter pocket. And this is the basis of what My Learning Train works with. 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter minimum resources. You can put up a reading wall. In the next few times we meet you, keep coming and interacting with us, and we'll give you little tools. Like today, we are going to give you the poster. We are going to give you this lovely poster which shows you all the domains. So when you put up this poster, you'll realize that, oh yeah, today I'm touching the social emotional domain. This activity is touching the linguistic language domain. This activity is touching the kinesthetic learning and the language. So sometimes there'll be activities that will touch 4-5 domains. Some activities may just touch 2 domains, but that is the way we work with little children. As many domains as we can touch with as many activities. Of course, every activity will never touch every domain, but this is what activities are based on. So please put this up on your wall just to refer to it, read about it, meet us regularly, and we'll keep talking to you. Now, the wall. The reading wall can be used for words. It can be used for a simple routine. We tell the children, wake up in the morning, now go brush your teeth. Now, when you have your brush your teeth, after you brush your teeth, come to the table and your breakfast you will eat. Okay, wear your slippers now and quickly go and take a bath, and don't make an excuse somehow. So you just keep giving instructions and instructions and instructions. So each time you're giving an instruction, get a routine set for the child. That's an important thing. In today's times, there are two things which I don't see happening very often. Is one, in the morning, we don't set a morning routine. All of us take a bath, dress up to work like we go out to work. Our children dress up. We don't see children, even very presentable during the online sessions. So that means the routine is not being set. So what we've also got for you is a lovely habit chart. So please download the domains chart and then the habit chart. Now, habit chart has got the days of the week, and it's a very simple thing that says, are you waking up on time on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Are you brushing your teeth when you wake up? Are you bathing when you wake up? Are you drinking your water and your milk regularly? I have a sign here that says the school. So replace that with, are you getting ready to be to meet your teachers? And are you ready with your things? I have given you some indicatives, but you can do your own. Another beautiful thing that you can do with the reading wall is, did you? Did you? Or a little reminder that goes there, and you can put a brush next to it. You can put socks. Did you put your socks for wash? Did you put your books away? Did you put your, so you can ask these did you questions. It will be so easy for children to start relating. You can put little notes for the UKG children, and let them try and read it. So your little wall with pockets becomes your wall for your words, for your learning, for your little notes to children, for the new words the teacher is going to give them, and it becomes a little learning space for your child. And put it at the level of the children. I've put it up higher because I wanted all of you to see it, but you can put it down at the level of the children, and it works wonderfully. So these are little things that you can do to get set, go for the year. It's important to get all of that in place. Then I think also very, very important is independent learners. So during this time when all the children are home, the parents are home, my voice is all not audible. Is that so? Somebody from the Oxford team, could you check that is it not audible? There is continuous.
It's audible, ma'am. It's audible.
It's audible. All right. So maybe you could check your connections, because today I'm told the weather is a little difficult in some places. Do check your connections, please. And so it's very, very important that we look at nurturing independent learners. So when we say get set, go in the year, even the smallest child, a 3-year-old child, must know where the child's things are. What are the child's books? We've color-coded books. We have, so basic processes are in place from our side. Now we need that cooperation from your side, that don't do things for the children. It always takes a little bit longer to make the child do it for themselves. But that little longer today will become a big boon a little later. So please spend that little longer to create independent thought processes, independent learning. At the same time, don't give them, things to do which are beyond their age. So when we do domains, when we do activities, this is the role of the teacher in the school in today's environment, that you won't just pick up random activities and give them to your children. You will pick up age-appropriate activities and then do them with your children. And this is where the role of the teacher becomes so important. So the collaboration between all of you. And us as a team of authors, as the Oxford University Press Marketing, Sales, our entire support team, we are all here to assist you. in whatever way you want. Do keep writing to us. Tell us that we need this. We probably will try and build it for you. I think that's the best we can do, right? In these circumstances, and I think that we have tried our best. We have tried to bring you webinars. The only thing that I will ask teachers and I will ask schools and parents to do is please come and log in and join us, because if you don't do that, how are we going to interact with you? How are we going to get to know you a bit more? And I think it's a great platform to just interact and grow and learn. Now, another very important thing will happen. So we've got our books ready. We've got our corners ready. In the corner, we are going to have a book corner, art corner. We are going to have a little, pocket wall put up over there. All children's resources put together in one place so the child has everything accessible. Whatever the teacher asks you to keep ready, please keep it ready like you would pack your child's bag. I think that's a perfect thing to do. Just get everything ready and tell the child where to find it. So that's our first get set, go. Understanding the domains, getting our centers ready, getting ourselves ready, getting our children ready. Now, there's another very important thing which I thought that we must talk about is that when the children are learning maybe a topic or a concept, how are you going to assist the teacher to know that the child has learnt it or not learnt it or needs help? So what we do with My Learning Train or with early years process, according to what we've set up, is we have certain symbols. We have a simple smiley if the child is completely independent and can work without assistance, means the child is excelling and has reached a good level of independence. Then we use a butterfly to show that the child has reached the required level. This child is completely independent, so is above the learning expectation. The little butterfly, the child with the butterfly indicative, the indicative says that the child is meeting the learning requirements. Whatever we are asking them to do, they are meeting that requirement. So the child is very, very comfortably taking care of that particular level of working. Then comes a child who needs some assistance. One topic, for example, the child is learning how to write a letter or to read a story or to listen to a story or sing a rhyme. So this child needs a little assistance from the parent and the teacher. So the child is moving in the correct direction, just needs a little assistance. And this little smiley with a smiley, a flower and a butterfly is a child that needs more nurturing and care. That means that particular topic, that particular concept needs to be recapped, needs to be redone with this particular child. Now, if we do that, yesterday somebody said something so beautiful. She said, watch the dynamics of the children on screen, because that's all the teacher has today. She only can watch the dynamics. So they will be in that whole group of children. It is not necessary that every child will need nurturing and care in every topic. Some children will care, some will be moving in the direction in another topic, and the next one would be reaching the expectation, and these would be gifted children who you have to give a little extra. So look at the expanse, look at what we all have to do together. And I think it's a beautiful time to understand what the early years teachers actually do for children. It's a very, very broad, very big expanse of a whole learning domains, processes, and that is what you need to prepare your children with. So when we say get set go, it means get yourself set and get the children going and work together. I think that's my whole purpose of this particular session. The next session that we have, we are going to work on listening and phonics, so that all your activities with phonics, the basic development. So your first 2 weeks goes with getting all the activities in place, just getting the children settled down, setting a routine. All this, once you do, then when we come back to you, we will come back to you with more concrete, like one day we'll do a reading evening together. One day we'll do numeracy together. One day we'll do art together. And just to give you a small idea, remember I told you how to make your 10 by 10 cards. You can take a photograph of the child, or you can simply cut a little circle out of this and allow the little ones can, you can help them out. For the UKG children and the little children, even the LKG children, very quickly the children can just draw themselves. And what we suggest is a little smiley. So everybody make a smiley for your children. So what happens is that when the teacher is talking, the child holds the little smiley. So my little smiley has a little, it can be done so quickly. And if I have a little boy, I can just do the eyes, nose, and my boy smiley is ready and my girl smiley is ready. You could just make it very simple. And very important for the children to have their names visible. You know, this is the time when we used to do all of this in school. And now our little ones are going to depend on you. These are little things which are manipulatives, which are movables. And, you know, they're not difficult to do. Let me assure you. And this is the only time your child is ever going to work so closely with you. Once they grow up, then they don't need you so much, right? So you can very quickly take this thing, put a little hat, write the child's name on it, and very quickly you can put it on a little stick and make a smiley for the child. So this also becomes a little expression smiley. You can use it with the feeling, how are you feeling today? So the child can actually put this smiley next to an anger, next to a smiling, next to an exhaustion. These are emotions which we have to deal with. These are things that are going to happen through the year, and we have to deal with them, right? So the best way to deal with them is to just make it visible. The most important thing is acknowledging that these things are happening. So this little smiley, even in our classrooms, becomes a little source. And then the children finish it, they put it back in place and they go. So a couple of things that are going to happen when you are getting set with and a small activity space in the house. You could use your cupboards, you could, you know, just use every resource in the way your home can take care of it. Don't worry if you can't do a thing. And if you can do it in the best way you can, without too much of expenditure, without too much of worry. Don't use any thermocol. These pockets are usable through the year. You will not need to make them again. So a lot of these things can be very, very simply done by you and your every time I come down to, you know, meet the parents and to interact with parents and teachers, for a second, I stop back and think, what would I do if my child was really young and I'm a working mom and I'm a working dad all the time? So I would set pace with my child. I would talk to my child like my child will understand. I will not take tantrums from my child. I will talk to them and I will stop it there. Because that's what you need to do. Direct eye contact, communication. Both parents, please be consistent. Nobody will take sides. These are things which are going to confuse the children. If mom says no, then the answer is no. That much of liberty to be given to the children as they are ready to, readiness of the mind. You can't make them make these big decisions. They are at a stage where smaller decisions have to be made. So maximum you can give them is a choice. Would you like to do this or this? But don't tell them pick up something else, because when they pick up that something else, you may not be able to give it. So give them limited choices. How would you stop it if words are not enough? I think isolate the child, pick up the child from the place of wherever the child is throwing a tantrum and move them out to another room, another thing, and eye contact and your heartbeat calm. It's difficult, I know. I know it's difficult, but you know, when we have children coming to us in early years, the first thing I tell my teachers is we all have to make a happy team together. Because if we are calm, then we can make our children sense this. They sense a quick heartbeat. So being consistent, both parents deciding parenting decisions, not just the mama, and specifically don't spoil the child. It's not going to do any good during these times. And if there are grandparents staying with you, I think a very nice chai ka pyala, take your adrak ki chai with elaichi and sit with the grandparents and say, I'm really sorry, but we need to get this right. You can't, the child can't keep going behind and saying, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. So minimize things like this in the house. Minimize it as adults, sit down and talk about it so that you acknowledge it and you make the children understand. I think that's what works, you know. And I've been an early years teacher for 31 years now. I recently have joined back a particular, you know, a school because I wanted to be in touch with children. I felt that I'm losing touch with them. And I interact with teachers, I ask them what the problems are. And it's really wonderful because wherever we are seeing consistency, children are doing well. So keep happy homes, set up your processes. If you set it up, keep the setting through the year. Don't let it get spoiled. Don't let things go all over the place. Make children understand that, you know, concentration in work and sit at a place, you will not be able to do it for too long. Children have short concentration span. That is why all activities that we plan are very short activities. Even in the classroom, we actually don't expect children to sit for 40 minutes. You have to understand that the early years teacher is a tremendously talented person. She can make children dance, sing, laugh, reform, behave themselves, put everything back in place. Because imagine if we have 35 children in our class and there's chaos, how will we handle our classrooms? So our eye contact, the way we speak to the children, the kindness, the firmness, everything works. That is how it would be. And for a session, like I always tell schools, you have to allow the children to move. For example, if I'm doing an activity with children, I will tell them, go get up and do this music. Why don't you do that? So we are also while we are doing a parent session, we are also doing sessions with the teachers to enable them and to give them a host of activities. So get set and go. And it's 6:30 and our time to wind up. I hope, you know, I was able to assist you all to start off and create this foundation for this year. Head down and prayers for a recovery for all of us to bring our children back to schools. But please remember, if your children are not disciplined, getting them back to schools is going to be very difficult. You will have to have disciplined children, disciplined adults. Look at what we've done to the country. All of us have to go into a discipline mode now. Self-discipline is the most important thing, most important. If we can create that, I think we are sorted. ABC aa jayega, 1 to 20 aa jayega, everything will come. But give this country a self-disciplined generation, because the next 20, 25 years are in your hands. You are creating that citizen for tomorrow. So please take care of all of yourselves, and thank you so much. Any questions?
Yeah, ma'am, there's
Giving
some
a
questions.
threat of, like, I will make you stand here works. Basically, I need to learn a parent. Does threat work for you? If somebody threatens me, I become very resistant. The minute someone threatens me, I tell them, do what you want to. So don't do that. Don't barter with your children. Tell them that this is an unacceptable behavior, and you need to change this. That's it. That's what I would do. And I had done that when my daughter was very young. I would just sit her down and I would talk to her and I would say that I'm really sorry, but this is unacceptable. I do that to date. Yes, you don't need to threaten. Don't take away a thing. Don't say, "Bahar khelne nahi jane dungi, friend ko nahi bulaungi, daddy ko bataungi." Not required. Just talk to your child. Don't underestimate them. They have a tremendous sense of understanding. Yes, anything else that I missed out? I have been trying to read if I could.
Ma'am, talking, not being able to talk in complete sentences, just a few words. There was a question.
Yeah, so
Children not being able, yeah.
Yes, so the most important thing is, don't baby talk children. Speak in complete sentences. It doesn't matter. अगर आपका बच्चा थोड़ा सा तुतलाता भी है, आप clearly बोलिए. You see, if you keep your lip movements absolutely clear and you look into the eye of the child, 80% of the problem is solved. 20% could be a problem if it's consistent, if it is. Otherwise, just speak in complete sentences. I think it helps a lot. Grow a big vocabulary. Tell them stories. Tell them proper sentences. It will help. Anything else that I missed out? A shy child. I think shyness is a way of a character also. Sometimes you are a shy person. So just keep giving them exposure. Don't push the child. there will be some shy adults also. You know, हर बच्चा हर चीज नहीं कर सकता. And remember, when I gave you domains, it means every child will be one domain or the other. This shy child may be a fantastic painter. This shy child. So even in classrooms, you know, we don't force every child to do everything. हम exposure देते हैं, लेकिन हम push नहीं करते बच्चों को, nudge करते. How can you avoid a child to be on the mobile? How long are you on the mobile? खाना खाते हुए मोबाइल देते हैं, टॉयलेट पे बैठाते हुए मोबाइल देते हैं, तो गलती तो हमारी. We go wrong. You know, our children have stopped seeing the flavor of food. They don't smell the food anymore. The high of the food is coming from the screen. Because it's an easy solution. बच्चे को सामने राइम लगा दीजिए, फिर आप आराम से अपना काम करते जाइए. That's not how you're going to do that. So you have to create a machine-free meal time. It's very important. आप अपने फोन भी रख दीजिए. मैं तो सब बॉसेस को कहती हूँ कि हमारे खाने के टाइम पे किसी को फोन मत करिए. बच्चे हैं घर में, we have to take care of them. So I think all of us have to, you know, translating English words. No, so better understanding of the topic is mother tongue. आप बिल्कुल प्योर शुद्ध मदर टंग में बोलिए, उसके बाद आप इंग्लिश में बोलिए. Don't do one word translation. Speak pure languages. It works. Aggressive behavior also has a reason. Please remember that. Aggression just doesn't come like that. A child just doesn't start bashing up just like that. थोड़ा सा इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करिए, थोड़ा सा शीशे सामने रख के देखिए कि घर का एनवायरनमेंट कैसा है. You know, many times when children used to come to my class and they used to bash up the other children, invariably we used to find the cause at home. Be gentle with each other. And I think at this point of time, being more and more gentle with each other is more important than any time before. We have to be very, very gentle. And that's how the children will learn, right? So in activities, but no teaching sessions. PPT, though, why should little children have PPTs? They shouldn't be having PPTs. That is why activity-based learning. अगर मैं बच्चों को कहती हूँ, clap your hands, click your fingers, get one ball, get a big chappal, get a small spoon, get 2 tomatoes, get 4 potatoes. All this the child would love to do. That is the reason why we say activity-based learning. And that is why my learning train always said activities, right? Is not eating without mobile, because you got her used to the mobile, you know. So you will have to take it away, get your disciplines in place. Digital tools are tools. They are not your replacement. आप अपना replacement मत बनाइए, right? Children are meant to get distracted very early. 2-3 minutes का उनका concentration होता है. So then they're just being normal. Don't worry about it, right? So we'll wind up for the day now, and we will see you next month around this time. And what I'll do is also I will type in answers and let me see what all I can answer all of you. All right. Like I said, we will only keep looking for solutions for you, and we will come back to you. Thoda sa discipline, thoda patterns. Keep your children consistent. Have a routine, and be firm and be polite. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good evening. And I hope it's a happy beginning for interaction with all of us, even though we really hope to have your children back in school soon. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, Purnima. I think we can wind up now.